Meet some of Key West's most colorful characters, a spookier side to the city after the sun goes down. Next on Comcast Newsmakers.
Bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Welcome back to Newsmakers. Key West is famous for its beaches, fishing, tourist attractions, and sunsets. But after those sunsets, a different city emerges, one that's given this city the distinction of being one of the most haunted places in America.
Who here by show of hands believe in ghosts?
What are you tapping? I heard it.
You could actually hear something tapping in there.
This property right here, if you don't respect it, will haunt you forever.
I like to think that Key West is a haunted history destination. You can come here and stay in an old house because most of our guest houses are in historic properties. You can go on a ghost tour. You can go to our cemetery, which is very famous because there are some wonderful tombstones in it. Or you can come out to East Martello and see the star himself, Robert.
Key West's original Ghost Tours has been guiding people to some of Key West's most haunted places since 1996.
The weird stuff that happens when you start happening with ghosts that get personal with people. And ghosts that get personal with people, sometimes they're nice and sometimes aren't nice. I've had 5 women walk away with second-degree burns. I've had people walk away with scratch marks. Kids get their hair clipped. I'm gonna say that 98% of ghosts are awesome. Just like 98% of people are awesome, contrary to everyone else's belief.
So where and what are some of Key West haunted highlights?
I will tell you that Robert, actually at this museum, has been a little frightening at times.
Robert the doll is over 100 years old, and he was originally made for a young boy, Robert Eugene Otto, who went by the name of Gene. And the story is that he had in the household a woman, and we don't know if she was from Haiti, but they say she was from the islands. And she made a gift for this young boy, and it was a doll.
And Gene starts to realize he can blame Robert for all the little problems that go on in his life. So say, for instance, a baseball goes through the first floor window. He says, it wasn't me, Robert used to do it.
Even today, 100 years later, when things happen in Key West and they don't go quite right the way people wanted, they'll say, blame it on Robert. We always tell people, if you want to take a picture of Robert, ask his permission. And a lot of people do that. And the funny thing is, the people who don't do it often have kind of unusual things happen to them.
Captain Tony's Saloon is the oldest bar in Florida. It also has the distinction of having been the city morgue from 1852 to 1875. The hanging tree inside the bar was reportedly used to execute the lives of murderers and pirates. The Marrero Guest Mansion is one of the few places where the haunting is friendly. Enriqueta Marrero and her children were evicted from what was then the Marrero family home. She vowed to the crowd that had gathered that even though she was being physically removed from her home, she would always remain there in spirit. She seems to have been true to her word and has appeared as an apparition and travels through former doorways between what used to be her bedroom and what was at the time the children's nursery. Witnesses, however, report that hers is a friendly presence, welcoming guests into her home. Besides anecdotal evidence, is there any physical proof of hauntings? Believers point to photographic anomalies that they say are manifestations of ghostly activity.
Orbs are a simple, semi-transparent spherical structure that float in the air. Your energy, if it's stuck here, is going to the major simple form of energy, which is called an orb. Ectoplasmic energy, on the other hand, is a smoky-like film, which is kind of like a signature. When people come into or leave this realm, it's kind of like you're rushing through a wall and the wake goes behind you, and that's ectoplasmic energy. And it looks like smoke on your film.
So what is it about Key West that could possibly make it so haunted?
A lot of history here, and people are proud of the history here. And I can't help but believe that if something's haunting it, they're probably proud of the history in Key West also.
Skeptic or believer? Make a visit to some of these places and find out for yourself. This hour's newsmakers have been the haunted places of Key West. In the Florida Keys, I'm Spiro Canton. Thank you for joining us.
The preceding has been a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. And now, back to CNN Headline News.